Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Salberg here. Welcome to my latest Wren 10 message. And what has been the end of a busy and frankly quite a strange week with an inset day on Monday and then a couple of days of strike action. It's been a busy week for me as well. Obviously, last week I spoke to you from my conference in Birmingham. It was a fantastic time to spend time with colleagues, but also reflected on the real challenges that we are facing in education at the moment. New figures have just been released showing the really worrying statistics about people joining the profession. And we've seen in some subjects that we are only managing to recruit 30% of those that we need for some of the key subjects. And that's a worrying picture nationally, and we know all too well the challenges that we face here locally. However, some really good news. We've managed to, in the last couple of weeks, make some fantastic appointments to our team. Some new members of staff who will be joining us later this year and in September, who will make us stronger as a team. And that is a focus of ours that we're continuing to push. And I know I've shared more about that with you, but it is still our priority that we work hard to make sure that we get the best, that we train, that we develop, and we look after the very best staff, because that is what your family, that is what your child deserves, and that is what we'll continue to do. And I hope to be able to share many more exciting developments and of new staff joining us and new things that we are trying to support. Make sure that national trend and those worrying numbers don't impact us as much as they may. I was also really excited this week to share with you our plans around uniform. And I want to really thank you for your engagement in that. I want to thank you for your feedback, your questions, your support, your encouragement. But I wanted to take this opportunity just to clarify a couple of key questions that have come up from some of you. 4 questions that I think are really important. I just want to be able to answer those for you. Question 1 was, will I have to pay to replace my child's current uniform? And as the letter said, all families will receive a voucher for each child that is currently attending the Wren. The exact amount of that voucher is not yet confirmed, but I can guarantee, we can guarantee that it will cover a set of new branded uniform for each child. The second question that I want to answer is, how much extra will I have to spend? And that does depend on what extra uniform is purchased. But we've been very deliberate in this movement in keeping as many items of uniform the same. So the items of uniform that are completely unchanged are shoes, footwear, there is no change. Trousers, skirts, tights, all remain exactly the same. And all of our PE kit and sports kit, there is no change on any of those items. We've also managed to ensure that we keep costs down and reduce them as much as possible, that any additional branded item that any family would like to buy is available at a reduced rate to what is currently available. So all of the new uniform items are a reduced cost to what is currently there. A third question, and a really important question, is how are we considering the environment in this change? And students were incredibly passionate about this area, very keen to make sure and consider how we manage this and to really push and ensure that any uniform item needs to be sustainably sourced and as eco-friendly as possible. And that is what we are committed to doing. We are also making sure that we are working with Stevenson's very closely to ensure any old uniform, any unused uniform is not wasted. And we are going to collect that, and we're going to work with both local and international charities to ensure that that clothing can be put to good use. And that is something that our students were very keen on, and so are we on that. Number 4, how will we as a school ensure that all of our families are supported with these changes? So alongside our voucher scheme, we've also launched a new financial support fund. Details can be found on our website, and we shared that with you earlier this year, where any family can apply for support. Any family can supply support to make sure that we're reducing and removing the barriers to any part of school and any part of their education. And that support is there for anyone. And we really ask if families are in need, that they have a look at that and how we can work with them. We're also heavily investing in this idea of a uniform swap shop from September. Quite an innovative idea, we believe, where any student can come to school in the morning and they can swap to get items of uniform to make sure they are fully in the correct uniform for that day, and there is no cost to the child for that, and there are no consequences and there are no sanctions. It's our way of ensuring that students have access to uniform, and we think that works really well. We will, in our spring newsletter, as I stated, going into more information. We're going to share details, and that will also include all of the uniform items that will be available, and the costs and the prices, and all of that will there. The newsletter will also be seeking further community, student and family voice on the implementation of how we go about this and the policy details. And students will be starting to explore that in school, in both their tutor time and in some of their lessons, so that we can answer questions and we can make sure this transition works really well for everyone. We, as always, are a community school working together to make sure that we offer the very, very best, because every single one of our children deserves the very best, and that's why we need to continue to work together. So, thank you. Please do continue to keep sharing, keep being in touch. We look forward to next week, a week where we're all back in for the week as we approach Easter really, really quickly. I wish you all a fantastic weekend, and we'll speak very soon. Thank you.